nerds and nerdettes. Welcome back to the Show. I am Aaron, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime and cousin extraordinaire, Landon.
Good day, Star Trek fans.
How we doing, man?
Trekkies. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about Star Trek. I'm excited to be quizzed on Star Trek today.
I was gonna say we're not really talking about Star Trek. I'm just gonna, you know, crack your head open and see what knowledge you've got in there.
It's an empty
Not
void, my friend, a place where men have not ventured, You have to
is it
boldly go,
metaphorical cracking of your head. How's that? Let's
That's
All right. Before we dive into today's episode, want to remind our folks out there not to forget about liking, subscribing, hitting that bell icon so that you're notified whenever we drop our latest content. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of our nerdy shenanigans. All right, Landon, are you ready to boldly go where no podcast has gone before?
big question before we do.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
much longer do I have to wait for Strange New Worlds?
For the third season,
Yeah,
uh, that's
that's
a
what I
good
live for
question.
these days.
October, maybe.
Okay. Because I'm awaiting,
I am too. I am
I'm
too.
not a
Season
big
two was
fan of
fantastic.
Discovery. Discovery is meh. But I
Discovery is
like
too cerebral.
it. It is. It is. I feel like I have to have a stance on things. I mean to like
I
I'm
I
trying to
have to have
escape here.
political leanings on Discovery, and I have to have a PhD in political science
In New
and
Worlds, all I gotta
engineering,
do is be envious of his hair. You know what I
right?
mean? That's
Dude,
that's great.
Anton's hair is just fantastic. How does he do? Like, is that real?
Will
Or is
we
he wearing a
ever
piece?
will we ever get a Star Trek movie again?
That is a great question. Um, but lucky for you, that's all you have to think about is the Star Trek movies today.
That's
All right. We are diving deep into the final frontier with some Star Trek movie trivia.
Hmm.
Every movie that has hit the big screen that has the Star Trek name attached to it is fair game. So that's what,
11.
13 movies at this point?
Yeah.
I think I didn't really count, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Six of the original, four of the new
13.
generation, and three of the reboot. So yeah, it's
Oh,
13.
okay.
All right. I prepared
Fine.
a series of 20 questions to test Landon's knowledge of the Star Trek cinematic universe from the motion picture all the way to beyond. We're covering it all.
Hmm.
Landon, on a scale of red shirt to Captain Picard, how confident are you feeling?
Now that we're here, I feel like I'm a bit of a red shirt at the moment. And for those
Confidence
that don't know what that means, they were the first ones to die.
every time. If
Every
you
time.
had a red shirt on and you got picked to go on an away mission, just kiss your butt goodbye.
You gotta love how Lower Decks calls that out, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, you in the red uniform. Let's go. Oh, dang it.
Here we
This is it.
go.
Tell my mom I love her.
I can do it. I'm ready for the away mission. Let's go.
All right. Let's see if that confidence holds up. All right. Here's how this is going to work. I'll ask you 20 questions about Star Trek movies, each with multiple choice answers. Some will be easy, some medium, some might make you wish you had a Vulcan mind meld. Are you ready to start?
Let's do it. I will be pausing to give our listeners time to think for themselves and when they answer. And if I pause a long time, it's simply because I don't know it. So there we go. But I'll try to make something up along the way.
Remember, this is you're getting multiple choice this time, so
There we go.
that should help.
All right.
Number one, in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, what famous line does Spock say to Kirk before sacrificing himself? Is it A, live long and prosper? B, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? C, I have been and always shall be your friend? Or D, fascinating?
Mm, those are all good ones, but I'm gonna go with C. I have and always will be your friend.
He does say that.
Oh, you're gonna tell me that what is his last thing that he said?
As the his last words
Was B,
were "live long and prosper."
live long and prosper. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay.
look how I put my hand up in the Zoom link. I appreciate
Number two, what is the name of the Klingon homeworld mentioned in Star Trek Six: The Undiscovered Country?
the Chronos.
That is correct. I didn't even have to give
Sorry,
you
I
the
didn't.
options.
I didn't pause. Sorry, fandom. I didn't pause. My bad.
All right. Let's just move on to number three. In Star Trek First Contact, what species does the Enterprise E crew battle? Is it the Klingons, the Romulans, the Borg, or the Cardassians?
Aren't we all like emotionally battling the Kardashians?
No,
Um.
Cardassians.
Oh, sorry, Cardassians from Deep Space Nine,
Yeah, yeah, those guys, the lizard people.
the lizard people.
There should be a show that is Star Trek keeping up with the Cardassians.
In First Contact, in the beginning of that episode, they are like, well, at the beginning of the episode, so
Well, not the
oh,
beginning. This the whole movie. This is the
oh, the whole
species that
movie,
they
Borg,
face.
the
The
Borg.
Borg. That is correct. All right, number four. Which Star Trek film features the crew traveling back in time to 1986 San Francisco? Is it A, Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, B, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, C, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, or D, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country?
Mm, mm, I know this one.
It's
No,
the
I
one you
do.
don't like.
It's the one I don't like. Not, it got a little better when I watched it recently. Okay, it is Star Trek for the Voyage Home.
That is correct. All right, number five. In the 2009 Star Trek reboot, who plays the young James T. Kirk? Is it A, Chris Pine, B, Zachary Quinto, C, Carl Urban, or D, Simon Pegg?
Isn't it funny that Carl Urban and Simon Pegg are on The Boys?
Right?
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So it is Chris Pine, and
It is
I
Chris
really wanted
Pine.
to have another one. You know,
There's constantly talk that there's going to be a fourth one, but it's
could
just
happen.
it's in development hell. Like it's just I don't think it's going to get out of
Yeah,
there.
I think we're past the time now. I think we're past that.
Let's move on and do a Deep Space Nine movie. All right. Question number six.
You can't get that
What's
crazy, man. You can't. What's
no
that guy's name? He's crazy.
Cisco?
Yeah, God, that guy.
Avery.
There's no way in the world you could do a movie with him. Go ahead.
No. All right. Respectfully, Avery. We mean that respectfully. What is the
We're
name
crazy
of the
too.
energy ribbon that Captain Kirk gets trapped in during Star Trek Generations? Is it the Nexus, the Anomaly, the Rift, or the Vortex?
Oh, it is definitely the Nexus.
It is the Nexus.
That's such a
That
good
is,
movie. I told you to love that movie. And then we had McDowell as the bad guy.
yeah, Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange. Ugh.
That is an messed up movie.
That is the best. Stanley Kubrick, y'all. Stanley Kubrick did The Shining, the old Shining.
All right, number seven. In Star Trek Nemesis, who is revealed to be a clone of Captain Picard? Is it Data, Shinzon, B4, or Lore?
Yeah, so crazy thing too is when I rewatched these movies, I was like, oh, that's Tom Hardy.
It is Tom Hardy.
And I'm like, oh my God, because he's thin in the
Yeah,
face.
he's
He's beefed
tiny.
up. He's very tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Shinzor is the clone.
Shinzon.
Shinzon, sorry.
Shinzon. Yeah, yeah.
Was
He
yeah.
he was a far cry from Bane at that
Oh
point.
my gosh. But still good. I like the portrayal. That was good.
Yeah. Number 8. What is the name of the device used to terraform planets introduced in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan?
I've got to do
Is it
this without the A, B, C's, and D's for a second because I know them as you said, and I want to have a minute to think about it. Can I?
okay? No, so no, you don't want the multiple choice.
I think I don't.
Okay, all right. If you decide you want multiple choice, I'll just let me know
So
and I'll
it'll
throw
be
it
my
in.
lifeline. Okay, that'll be
Okay,
it.
well
If I'm just
we'll
like,
do
all
that.
right, give me
That's
multiple choice. All right.
that's good. That's good. Okay,
So the device that terraforms planets is called the Genesis device,
that is correct. All
created by
right,
his former lover and son.
his his lady friend. Uh, in Star Trek III: The Search for
Carol.
Spock, what is the name of the Vulcan ritual used to reunite Spock's body
Ooh,
with his consciousness? This one's tough.
ooh, yeah,
I
yeah,
had to look this one up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I say get rid of the multiple choice, and now I'm gonna need it because I'll recognize it when you say it.
I don't
Um,
know. Because even when I had the multiple choice, I was like, nah, I got to look that up. That's,
all right, do the
that's,
multiple choice.
is it A, Kolinar, B, Ponfar, C, Faltorpan, or D, Katra?
Somebody's Katra is their essence,
Right.
so that's not that. It's one of it's the say the first two again.
The first, you want the first two or the first three?
First two.
The first two are Kolinar or Ponfar.
Polinar. A.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's Faltorpan.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's totally left field for me. What was
Yeah, I thought it was
Polinar?
Kolinar too. Kolinar is the logic
When he shows that he
journey
has
he's
no
on
emotion.
at the
That's right.
beginning of
Yeah.
the motion picture when he is
Yeah.
on Vulcan before he returns to the Enterprise.
And he
That's
fails
the
it.
ritual he is undergoing then.
And he fails it because or he can't go through with it because he
Right.
is
Because
has an
he
emotional tie that he doesn't want to get rid of.
right.
Yeah, all right. So what's it called again? The fallen Fossum
Faltorpan.
Fossburner?
Fastbender, yeah. The Fastbender ritual. It reconnects his Katra with his body.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Man. All right. I was doing so well.
Uh so close, so close. Number 10, which Star Trek film features a plot involving the crew stopping an alien probe from accidentally destroying the Earth while trying to contact extinct whales?
I, I mean, again? Then Star Trek for A Voyage Home.
That's correct. I mean, there's only 13 movies. We got to
We're gonna
do
have some
something.
doubles.
20 there's 20 questions and 13 movies, so something's got to give.
Yeah.
Uh
What was the whale's name? Macy? Something like that?
George
Gracie.
and Gracie.
Gracie. Yeah, George and
Yeah,
Gracie.
George and Gracie named after George Burns and Grace Allen.
Grace Allen. Son of a
Say
bitch.
goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. All right, number 11. In Star Trek Insurrection, what is the name of the planet with regenerative properties that the Baku inhabit? I am going to give you the multiple choice on this one. Is it A, Risa, B, Romulus, C, Remus, or D, none of the above?
Romulus and Remus were related to the Romulans. Regenerative properties. Risa. That does sound familiar. I'm going to say none of the above.
That is correct. It is none of the above. The planet is actually not named in the film.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Trick question.
What was there something with Risa?
Risa is a pleasure planet. It's
Oh,
often
that's right. That's the
during
one
during the series when they
that's
go on shore leave. That's where
yeah,
they tend to go
Riker.
on vacation.
Right.
Yeah, that's where Riker brought that mind control game back from.
Right.
All right, number 12. Who directed Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan?
Uh, that was directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to remember because he went away. Oh, yeah, that's right. No, he came back and he directed the next one.
Bingo.
So he did not do that one. That's right. That was the deal. He came back and directed.
Do you want the multiple choice?
Yes.
Was it Robert Wise, Leonard Nimoy, Nicholas Meyer, or William Shatner?
I'm gonna say William Shatner.
No. William Shatner only directed five. Nicholas Meyer was the director of Star Trek 2.
Okay. All right. I don't think I knew that. Who
He
directed
also
the
came
first
back
one?
and did the sixth one. Uh, I think it was Robert Wise that did the first one.
Well, that makes sense because 2 and 6 are my favorite.
Yeah, two
So
and
I think
six were
I
done
just
by Nicholas
really
Meyer. Three and four were Leonard Nimoy. Five was Shatner,
okay.
and they only gave five to Shatner because
Oh,
Leonard
I
Nimoy
remember
got
us
to do three and
talking.
four.
Well, I should have remembered that because I remember us talking about how much we didn't like 5, and
Yeah,
Shatner really shouldn't have directed. You know,
he really shot the bed on that one.
he Shatnered it.
All right, number 13. In Star Trek Beyond, what is the name of the massive space station where the Enterprise docks?
Go the multiple choice.
Is it Deep Space Nine, Yorktown, Starbase One, or Utopia Planitia?
Yorktown.
It is Yorktown. Very good.
Thank you.
That's impressive. Actually, I had forgotten that one. I thought it was Starbase One, but then I was like, no, that can't be right. Starbase One is the one big one. Looks like a probe.
Well, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that one looks like the mushroom or not mushroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, number
Jellyfish.
14.
That's what it looks like.
What is the name of the Romulan mining ship that attacks the USS Kelvin in the opening of the 2009 Star Trek film?
Yeah, do the multiple choice on this.
All right, is it the Scimitar, the Narada, the Valdor, or the Khazara?
Ooh. Say A and C again.
A is Scimitar, C is Valdor.
I'm gonna say A.
The Scimitar? I'm sorry, the Scimitar is actually Shinzon's ship in Star
Oh,
Trek Nemesis.
oh man.
So it is a
Still
Romulan ship,
Romulus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but the Narada
Oh, Narada.
is Nero's ship in Star Trek.
Nerada. That's why I should have thought I should have remembered it that way. Nero Narada. Hmm.
Let's see. Okay, number 15. In Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, what is the name of the Klingon moon that explodes, leading to peace talks?
Praxis. Staxis. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Say the
You're so
choices.
close. So is it Kronos,
No,
Rudapente,
no.
Praxis, or
Praxis.
Borith?
It was Praxis.
It is Praxis.
Man, I was close. I was close.
Yeah.
But I do
Uh
remember Rudapente.
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 In Star Trek the motion picture, what is the true identity of V'ger?
Ah, yes. So V'ger is Voyager. So this is a um an, an Earth probe that went out and went into it and intelligence, a machine race intelligence, and it gained awareness, if you will, and it's now
Yep,
become an entity.
that's right. Voyager 6,
Oh,
a
Voyager 6.
fictional space probe that NASA sent out. They actually, in reality, NASA only sent out two Voyager probes,
Yeah.
both of which are currently leaving our solar system as we speak. All right, number 17. What is the registration number of the USS Enterprise in the original film series?
Ooh. Well, I'll definitely have to have you read them out.
All right. Is it NCC 1701, NCC 1701A, NCC 1701D, or NX01?
And which one are we talking about? Are we talking which show or which movie?
The original movie series with the original crew.
All right, NCC 1701.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because
I also would have taken if you had given me Enterprise A,
okay,
because the original Enterprise was destroyed in Star Trek 3,
right,
and then at the end of Star Trek 4, they are given the Enterprise A, and that's the Enterprise we have in 5 and 6.
right.
And just for discussion, NX01 is the Enterprise that is captained by Scott Bakula's Jonathan Archer
Oh, the
on Star Trek
original
Enterprise series.
Enterprise. Yeah, that's good.
This is a underrated show, guys. If y'all want to watch that one, check it out. Number 18, Star Trek Into Darkness. What is Khan's full name as revealed in the film?
Cool. Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's a
I need to watch that
mouthful.
again. I actually really love. I don't think my kids have seen the new ones. They'd like to see Thor at the beginning, I'm sure. All right, so here, go ahead
What's
and
so
read them out.
young there? Did you
Hold on. Need, it
not gonna
starts
work
with
here anymore?
it starts with an N. Nugent. Oh, go ahead, try. Tell me the forum.
So is it A, Khan Noonien Singh,
Union.
B, John Harrison, C, Khan Singh, or D, Noonien Harrison?
Con Union Sink.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Number
Union.
19.
Like Ted Nugent. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
no,
Ted
that's not
Nugent.
it.
No, it's not Ted Nugent. Oh man. Sorry, my eyes are bothering me. Number 19. What is the name of the Klingon prison planet in Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country?
Orapente.
That is correct. All right, this is your last question. And if
I don't
you
want you
ask,
to get emotional about this. It's okay. We will have other questions that can be asked at another time.
eyes are just watering. It's allergies, man. I promise. I'm not upset.
It's all right. It's all part of the experience.
It's all part of the show, folks. All right. If you need the multiple choice here, there's actually a. I would probably give you the uh the answer if you choose one of two. So okay. In Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, what famous Shakespeare quote does Chang repeatedly use? If you want the
Hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead with the multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, to be or not to be? Is it B, cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war? C, all the world's a stage? Or D, the lady doth protest too much, methinks?
He said, I feel like he actually says both A and B in the film.
He does, and that's why I would give you
Oh,
either
give me
one of
either one.
those.
Right. To
Yeah,
be or not to be, is that not the question? He says like when they're having the dinner, right? And
right.
then the other one is when they were in battle, wasn't it?
The heat of battle, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but to be or not to be is the one he repeats. So technically, that is the right answer. Those are his last words before the torpedo hits
Hits
the
him.
cloaked
Right.
ship.
Yeah. Christopher
Uh,
Plummer, by the way, folks, Christopher Plummer being that same guy from Sound of Music. So
just
on
brilliantly
track.
portrayed that role. Gosh,
Wonderful,
I
wonderful.
might have to watch that tonight just to see it because it's such a good movie.
Such a good movie. Mm.
All right, Landon, you made it through our gauntlet of Star Trek movie trivia. How are you feeling? Did any of those really catch you off guard?
Yeah, that was, I think, some of the planet ones. Some of these I was surprised that I remembered it, right?
Yeah.
Like they were just there, just ready knowledge there because of watching them so many times, right?
Yeah.
No,
Just
those are
ingrained in your
great
brain.
questions. Yeah, absolutely. How did I do?
I think you only missed two or three. Two
Yeah.
for sure. I know you missed two. There, I can't remember if the third. There was a third one.
So
Let's
you
call
know
let's
what?
call it 80%. Let's call it 80%.
There we go. I got what I thought I would, you
No,
know?
no, 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 no. Sorry, not 80%. 85%. My bad.
85%. So a B. I got a B on it,
Yeah, that's
you
okay.
know?
That's respectable.
That's good.
And to the folks at home, let us know how you did. Feel free to brag about your Star Trek knowledge in the comments. We're going to move on to Pop Culture Pulse. We're going to engage our warp drive and get over to that segment. Landon, what's been catching your eye in the world of pop culture lately?
Just overall or related to Star Trek?
Overall, just whatever's
Overall.
whatever's caught your
Yes.
fancy.
So the the uh the kids just finished watching The Office with us last night. So
Nice.
they've watched all of them. And the question comes up as to will there ever be any more? We told them about the thinking about Schrute Farms, and stuff like that. And they saw Michael in the last episode, but it was a very minimized part. And so I'm like, well, there is an announced, show that's going to be taking place not in Scranton, but I think in Colorado or something like that. Like it's
Yeah, I
somewhere
think so.
over that way. And the question is, well, didn't Michael end up going somewhere over somewhere else? And so, just the question is he going to be involved? Then there was this SNL skit where he's hosting. SNL does a speech, and then you had Pam and or a couple of the characters get up and just in the audience and be like, "Yeah, so we're gonna do this or not?" So I'm excited to see what happens, but I don't know anything more than them just announcing that they're gonna do another Office.
I can't remember. So I haven't seen who they've cast as the boss of the new office, or even like what the office, the business is going to be. But I do know that it is a female actress from Australia
Oh,
who is
nice,
playing the manager.
nice.
Um, and I think it's supposed to hit this fall.
This fall, then. Well, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
I would
Well, I
assume it's
think,
going to be on Peacock.
yeah, I don't know. Well, it'd definitely be Peacock, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. It'd be great to see some. I don't think I need Andy anymore. I think they finished off his character arc good. Dwight, I could always use again, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
But I think they really wrote off the Jim and Pam, and he's pretty much. I mean, he's way too big for that now, you
Nah,
know.
he's off directing movies now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the essence and excitement of the show would be not to try to make it the other show, but to, it's gotta
Make it
have
its own thing.
it's gotta be its own thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think if they're going to have any kind of crossovers or uh, you know, guest appearances from former cast members, it needs to get on its own feet, on its own foundation first.
right,
And then really only make that kind of thing happen if it's organic, if it makes sense.
right,
Don't just throw somebody in there just because you can.
right,
I'm very much the kind of person who, if it fits the story, fine, do it and make it entertaining. But otherwise, I don't want fan service just because, oh look, Pam Beasley showed up. Why is she here? I don't know. She just showed up in this random town in
yeah,
Wyoming just
yeah, yeah.
because.
The other part of it too is like when this show was made, none of these people were well known. I mean, even
Oh no,
Steve Carell, he wasn't a stride in his career at all. You know what I mean?
no, because the 40-year-old virgin hadn't come out yet.
No.
And as soon as that hit, it was like, oh, we have got a star on our hands. And
Right.
so then, NBC was like, all right, give them season 2, let's go.
Right. So it's like, I mean, this to me, you have an opportunity to take people who, I mean, don't have much experience with it. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of talent out there. I think it's a great opportunity, actually. But behind the scenes, you also had an incredible writing staff.
Yeah.
So it can't just be taking no names with talent. You gotta really have. But isn't it weird though? Because you look at like the culture today, and there's a lot of things that happen in that show at the beginning that I don't know that you get away with today.
No,
You know what
absolutely
I
not.
mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to say, what can happen these days.
Yeah. You look at that Culture Day episode from the first season,
Oh my
like
gosh.
there is no way
There's
they
no
would make an
way.
episode like that today.
No,
There's just
no.
that it would never happen.
We're just such a divisive people these days, which is
I know. I
so
know.
rough. Everybody's so sensitive about everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But that's kind of on the mind. What about you?
So I recently saw the latest trailer for Beetlejuice,
Ooh, yes.
and I am excited to see this movie. But here's what I'm hoping it's not. I hope it's not the Beetlejuice story, you know?
Yeah.
Because one of the great things about the original Beetlejuice is that Michael Keaton really doesn't have a whole lot of screen time. You don't see a lot of Beetlejuice. The story is about the Maitlands and
Right.
and their interactions with
Right.
the Dietzes. And so Beetlejuice is just a background character who comes along to screw things up every now and then.
Right.
And
And
that's
he
what makes him
does.
brilliant because you
Right.
don't see him very much. And
Right.
so in this sequel, I hope they are not overcorrecting by bringing Michael Keaton in and having him be the focus of this movie.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
because he really is the focus of the trailer.
Yeah.
And
I
so that
actually
scares me a
think
little bit.
I think they will, but I also really enjoyed the cartoon show, which totally didn't make sense that the cartoon show would happen because really he ends up being like him and Lydia are like best friends and doing these little zany antics together, and it's just weird. It just doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of fun you can have with his character. I will tell you, I'm going into it with just a nostalgic appreciation to see a character again. This is how I enjoyed seeing him in as Batman in the Flash movie. I just came into it extremely lighthearted, not critical. And anybody watching this movie, I would suggest that you do the same. This is a 1980s, whatever it
Yeah.
was, movie that now, because of fandom and just appreciation of a great, fun character, we bring him back. So you got to go into it and not be like, let me critically review this thing.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I again, my hope is that it's not going to be overly saturated with Beetlejuice.
Right. Or to make it too heavy. Like some of the things in the trailer have had like this very serious antagonist bad guy lady, right?
Yeah,
And you're just like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay, I guess we had to have some end to this, but in the first movie, it was really just you have two situations that are at odds against one another between these two different families. And then yeah, you drop in Beetlejuice and it just goes, oh, you know what I mean?
right.
So yeah,
I mean, as long as it's fun, I trust that Tim Burton and Michael Keaton have put their heads together and put something good to film. So, it's funny you mentioned the cartoon. It's insane to think of the inappropriate movies that got turned into children's cartoons throughout the 80s and 90s. I mean, Beetlejuice, that is not a movie that's aimed at kids. It should not have been a cartoon series, but it was, and it sold toys.
yeah,
And the Ghostbusters with the real Ghostbusters and Slimer.
yeah,
That
that was a
Ghost
good show.
Ghostbusters. If you go back and watch the 1984 Ghostbusters, that is not a kids movie. Like we watched it as kids, yeah, but that is not a movie aimed at children. That is aimed at
No,
the Saturday Night Live set.
yeah, yeah,
And you got this cartoon that again comes along with these same characters and it's selling toys. So that's great, but it's really inappropriate. So then
yeah.
you get Ghostbusters 2 comes along, and it's a lot more family friendly. They're hosting little kids' birthday parties and You don't have scenes of Dan Aykroyd having a dream that a ghost is pleasuring him. Uh,
Hello.
anyway, spoilers. Uh, all right, time to beam over to our recommendation corner. Landon, what gem have you discovered recently that our listeners absolutely need to check out?
In the gaming world, I just want to say that I've been playing DC Universe Online in my spare time. And this is a game where you can go on to your PlayStation or Switch or probably Xbox, methinks. I think they're actually building Xbox to bridge into the servers of the other games. But this is a game where you can create your own character and you can connect with, like, you can have Superman or Wonder Woman or Flash or any of these like characters or Batman be your mentor, but you can like fly or you can run fast, or you can do all these things, and you're in an open world with all these other people that are doing the same thing. You have these missions, and it's really fun. It's a fun game where you can kind of set your pace and do missions and just upgrade your character and then just kind of do some comic booky fun things. So I like it because I don't have to spend a whole lot of time. I can just like, in the evening, just kind of throw it on there, play, and beat up some bad guys. Or if you're on the other side, beat up some good guys. So yeah, it's fun.
Awesome.
You?
As for me, I'm going to stick with the Star Trek realm here. I'm going to recommend Star Trek Lower Decks. We mentioned that briefly earlier. It's on Paramount Plus. The fifth and final season is going to be hitting the platform soon. It is absolutely worth binging the first four seasons, especially if you consider yourself a Star Trek fan. It is hilarious. It's packed with references, and it still manages to capture the heart of what makes Star Trek great. Trust me, you will not regret checking out that animated series. It's so much fun.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Um, all right, so we actually have some audience interaction that I wanted to mention. Um, we got a comment on our recent episode about Stephen King's different seasons over on YouTube at Vert Bean Casserole. Vert Bean Casserole. Let us know that she is adding that book to her TBR or to be read list.
Nice.
Uh, what's fun is I actually went to high school with Vert Bean Casserole. I won't reveal her real name here in case she doesn't want that thrown out there. But yeah, we sat together in 12th grade English with a third person in our little group that wasn't paying attention to Mr. Schiffoni. And we played 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, like every class. It was
Nice.
super fun.
Love that.
But to you, thank you so much for your comment. Thanks for watching the show. We're thrilled you enjoyed that episode enough to add that book to your list. Landon, any thoughts? Considering we do have several folks out there, we should encourage them to say, "Hey,
Yeah,
if you get
absolutely. Please definitely reach out and do some comments and stuff, or even suggestions for shows. I will say that one of the things we love doing now that we just started is this Wheel O topics. And so, can we do that? Can we
we
do
are,
our Wheel O topics so we
we are
can see what's going to come next?
all right." Since we've reached the end of our journey today, oh dear, this is the Wheel of Topics. And so I'm going to give it a spin, see what we're going to be talking about next week. All right, ready?
Not on the line. Don't be on the line. Don't be on the line. Oh, it is. It looks like it's on the Barbie side.
Barb, yeah, that is definitely on the Barbie side of things.
We are going to talk
So,
about the Barbie movie.
all right, that'll be one episode next week. And what's the other one going to be?
It'd be funny if it was Oppenheimer.
Wouldn't it? What is
Oh,
it?
so another Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Oh, Star Trek: The Next Generation. So, Star Trek
Hey,
fans, you're getting another week of Star Trek there.
that's right,
All right.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. That is Jean-Luc Picard.
So, what we're going to do is we will, in our very next episode, we will uh, to prepare for it, watch the Barbie movie. Personally, I haven't seen it yet, so
Oh,
that'll be
really?
fun for me. And we'll be discussing that in our next episode. And then following that, we will discuss what do you want to say? Key episodes in season one of Next Generation.
I think it's a great idea. Let's focus in since there's so much, not go broad. Let's go into yeah, key episodes season one.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch and listen to the podcast today. I'm excited for what's to come in the next week, and want to make sure that you guys take time to tune in for those episodes as well. Remember, if you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow nerds. Landon, any final words for our audience?
Have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Don't work too hard. Make sure you take time for you. Balance is everything.
Absolutely. Self care is key. As for me, I'll say this: live long and prosper, and have a great whatever it is, wherever you are. And we'll
Right.
see you next time on the No Show.
Bye.